And welcome back. Owning rental or vacation properties doesn't have to be a hassle. The experts at Island Realty can help us with HOAs, fractional ownership properties, and much more. We welcome Emily Mosh with much more. And we were talking about HOAs, and some are good, and some are just a pain sometimes. You know, a number of people live in neighborhoods with HOAs. Are most of these associations run correctly, run well?
Well, you know, it's increasingly popular for neighborhoods or communities to operate under these HOAs or community associations. And it's not that we find that they're necessarily not being run well, it's that we find they can cause so much stress for the people trying to run them and the people that live there. You know, the people that run HOAs are expected to take on a lot of responsibility in addition to their day jobs. And not only can it be a thankless position, it can also be a rather inflammatory one. You know, people have sort of a negative connotation, I'm sure a lot of people watching do, of HOAs because they tend to imply that your neighbor is watching you and just waiting to police you. In reality, these association members are trying to make sure the neighborhood operates smoothly, but it can be very hard to enforce policy and procedure to people you consider your friends.
And when you're saying enforce the policy to neighbors and friends and all that, a lot of HOAs have a tremendous amount of power. Yeah, and sometimes if you don't comply with what they're asking you to do, there can be fines, there can be liens on your property or whatever. That can be very stressful. Can you guys help with that a little bit?
Absolutely. So Island Realty is an impartial third party. You know, we act in the best interest of the HOA and the neighborhood without compromising the sense of community. We come in, discuss the needs with the HOA board members as well as the people that already live in the neighborhood to truly get a sense of what everyone needs and wants and how you can best operate. And so we don't try to start fights between neighbors. We want to take that away from you.
Absolutely. So let's just say I own a house, and let's just say in the Bell Hall subdivision in Mount Pleasant. I own a house, but I rent it out. And so it comes under the understanding of the HOA, but I'm also getting you folks to manage that piece of property. And so I've got somebody that's renting it that's kind of, you know, leaving the garage door open too often, which, by the way, is a problem sometimes, not maybe doing enough yard work, maybe should have power washed the house. So we get letters and so forth. You guys can step in and help out, not just as the managers, but also as the individuals who can speak for me to the HOA.
Absolutely. So we can be your property manager in that sense, and we can manage the property that you're renting out, and then we can manage the HOA as a whole. So our scope of work, it's extremely wide. For the HOA, we can do financial, organizational, maintenance, and sales assistance. We can customize our scope of work to what you need. We can also manage your, you know, the bylaws, and for your vacation rental properties or short-term rental properties within your neighborhood, we can come up with rules and regulations for that as well, whether they're managed by vacation rental firms such as Island Realty or they're owner managed on sites like Airbnb. Yeah,
because that comes under some different categories, you know, with people doing Airbnbs and all that. You guys can help individuals that are wanting to do that because they have become very popular.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Airbnbs. Did one down in New Orleans, but those folks were, you know, watching after their own property. But you folks can come in with Island Realty and sit down with a homeowner who may be in and out, who may not be there that much, and help them out tremendously.
Absolutely, we definitely can.
Can someone, you know, when they're talking with you and your associates there at Island Realty, you guys are covering a lot of property in the Charleston area, like over 700 properties or something, is it? How many properties are y'all looking at these days?
We have about 350 vacation rental properties and then about 300 annual rental or lease properties.
That's a lot of properties.
It is.
Yeah. So do you guys get more busy, of course, during the summer because of the vacation properties that are out there?
We do. We're pretty consistently busy year-round. In the summer, that's obviously our biggest week-long stays for family, people coming down and wanting to see the beach, wanting to see Charleston, but we tend to stay pretty busy all year, which is great.
And I would say one of the best things to do is not to wait right now to start booking your vacation rental, you know, here in the Charleston area, maybe Alapalm, Sullivan's Island, Kiowa, wherever it may be. You need to be calling well in advance. A lot of times people, what they'll do is that they'll rent a vacation home, let's just say in the middle of July, and the day that they leave, they call you guys and say, hey, listen, when is it available next year? And that's usually the best way to do it.
It really is. We're already booking stuff well into 2017 right now, so we need to get those properties booked as soon as you know you want to go on vacation.
You know, this is kind of out of script, but I just wanted to ask you also, you know, what is probably one of the biggest complaints about people going into a vacation rental, something that they may not know, may not understand? and it can be as much as, I can't turn the TV on. Mm-hmm. Simple things.
It is, you know, there are a lot of simple things like that. The nice thing about Island Realty is that we actually have our own in-house maintenance and housekeeping departments, which is wonderful. So if a guest comes in, right, if a guest comes in and can't turn the TV on or says, you know, I think that my refrigerator light is burned out, they call us, we send someone over immediately who's on our staff, who we trust and who can take care of all of that for the guest.
Or the refrigerator's not cooling fast enough. They're not really being consciously aware that they've had it open and they've got 6 kids in the house and the door's constantly open. Just keep it closed for a little while and it'll cool. Yeah. Emily, thank you so much.
Absolutely, thank you.
Make sure you check them out. You see their signs everywhere, just about on every island up and down the South Carolina coast. Check those folks out. They're doing such a wonderful job. Stay with us. We're going to meet a furry friend who needs a loving home with Pet Helpers in just a moment.